Animal physiology is a vast and intricate field that delves into the myriad ways in which animals function, adapt, and thrive within their environments. At its core, animal physiology seeks to understand the physical and chemical processes that occur within animal bodies, from the cellular level up to entire organ systems, and how these processes are regulated and integrated to maintain life. The study of animal physiology not only reveals the fascinating diversity of life on Earth, but also highlights the underlying unity among living organisms, as many physiological mechanisms are conserved across species. The foundation of animal physiology lies in the concept of homeostasis, the ability of an organism to maintain a stable internal environment despite fluctuations in the external world. This stability is crucial for proper cellular function, as enzymes and biochemical reactions are highly sensitive to changes in temperature, pH, and ionic concentrations. Homeostatic regulation involves complex feedback mechanisms, often orchestrated by the nervous and endocrine systems, which constantly monitor internal conditions and initiate appropriate responses to deviations from the norm. For example, thermoregulation in mammals involves sensors in the skin and brain that detect changes in body temperature, prompting physiological responses such as sweating, shivering, or altering blood flow to the skin to dissipate or conserve heat. At the cellular level, animal physiology explores how cells acquire energy, communicate, and perform specialized functions. The cell membrane, composed of a lipid bilayer embedded with proteins, acts as a selective barrier that controls the movement of substances into and out of the cell. Transport mechanisms such as diffusion, osmosis, facilitated diffusion, and active transport ensure that essential molecules like glucose, ions, and amino acids reach their destinations while waste products are removed. Cellular respiration, a process that occurs in the mitochondria, enables cells to extract energy from nutrients, primarily glucose, through glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. This energy is stored in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which powers a multitude of cellular activities. Communication between cells is vital for coordinated physiological responses. Animals employ a range of signaling mechanisms, including direct cell-to-cell contact, local chemical signals, and long-distance hormonal and neuronal communication. The nervous system transmits electrical impulses along neurons, allowing rapid and precise coordination of muscle contractions, sensory perception, and behavioral responses. In contrast, the endocrine system releases hormones into the bloodstream, eliciting slower but more sustained effects on target tissues throughout the body. The interplay between these two systems ensures that animals can respond effectively to both immediate challenges and long-term changes in their environment. One of the most remarkable features of animal physiology is the diversity of respiratory systems evolved to meet the oxygen demands of different habitats and lifestyles. Aquatic animals such as fish utilize gills, highly vascularized structures that extract dissolved oxygen from water. Terrestrial animals have developed lungs, which provide a large surface area for gas exchange with the atmosphere. Some animals, like amphibians, rely on cutaneous respiration, absorbing oxygen directly through their moist skin. Regardless of the specific adaptations, the fundamental principle remains the same. Oxygen must be efficiently delivered to cells for aerobic metabolism, while carbon dioxide, a waste product, must be removed to prevent toxicity. Circulatory systems play a central role in distributing oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and immune cells throughout the body, while also facilitating the removal of metabolic wastes. The simplest circulatory systems, found in some invertebrates, consist of a network of interconnected cavities or vessels through which fluids move by diffusion or muscular contractions. More complex animals possess closed circulatory systems, where blood is confined to vessels and pumped by a heart. Vertebrates exhibit remarkable variations in heart structure and function, from the two-chambered hearts of fish to the four-chambered hearts of birds and mammals, which allow for complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, thereby maximizing the efficiency of oxygen delivery. The digestive system illustrates another facet of physiological adaptation, tailored to the dietary habits of different animals. Carnivores possess short, simple digestive tracts suited for the rapid processing of protein-rich diets, while herbivores often have elongated intestines and specialized fermentation chambers, such as the rumen in cattle, to break down tough plant materials with the aid of symbiotic microbes. Enzymatic digestion involves the breakdown of macromolecules, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, into their constituent monomers, which are then absorbed across the gut wall into the bloodstream. Accessory organs, such as the liver and pancreas, secrete bile and digestive enzymes that facilitate these processes. Excretory systems are essential for maintaining the chemical balance of body fluids by removing nitrogenous wastes and regulating water and ion concentrations. The type of excretory product varies among animals, reflecting adaptations to their environment and water availability. Aquatic animals typically excrete ammonia, a highly toxic but easily diluted compound, while terrestrial animals convert ammonia to less toxic substances such as urea or uric acid, which require less water for excretion. The kidneys, the principal excretory organs in vertebrates, filter blood to produce urine, selectively reabsorbing valuable substances and concentrating wastes for elimination. The musculoskeletal system provides the structural framework and means of locomotion for animals. Muscles generate force through the contraction of actin and myosin filaments, a process powered by ATP and regulated by calcium ions and nerve impulses. Skeletal systems, whether internal, endoskeletons, or external, exoskeletons, support the body, protect vital organs, and serve as attachment points for muscles. The diversity of locomotor adaptations, from the undulating movements of snakes to the powerful flight muscles of birds, reflects the evolutionary pressures exerted by different habitats and modes of life. Reproduction and development are central themes in animal physiology, ensuring the continuity of species. Reproductive strategies range from asexual methods, such as budding and parthenogenesis, to complex sexual reproduction involving the fusion of gametes. Hormonal regulation of reproductive cycles, gametogenesis, and mating behaviors is tightly coordinated to maximize reproductive success. Embryonic development encompasses a series of carefully orchestrated events, from fertilization and cleavage to gastrulation and organogenesis, culminating in the formation of a functional organism. Many animals exhibit parental care, investing time and resources in the survival of their offspring, which can take the form of nest building, brooding, or lactation. Animals constantly interact with their environment, and their physiological systems are finely tuned to respond to external stimuli. Sensory systems, including vision, hearing, olfaction, taste, and touch, enable animals to detect changes in their surroundings and respond appropriately. Specialized receptors transduce environmental signals into electrical impulses, which are processed by the nervous system to generate behavioral responses. Many animals possess extraordinary sensory capabilities, such as echolocation in bats and dolphins, or the detection of polarized light by insects, allowing them to exploit ecological niches inaccessible to others. Adaptation to extreme environments is a testament to the resilience and versatility of animal physiology. Desert-dwelling animals, for example, exhibit remarkable adaptations to conserve water and regulate body temperature, such as nocturnal behavior, efficient kidneys, and the ability to tolerate high body temperatures. Polar animals possess insulating layers of fat and fur, countercurrent heat exchangers, and behaviors that minimize heat loss. Deep-sea organisms thrive under immense pressure, low temperatures, and scarce food supplies by evolving unique biochemical pathways and symbiotic relationships with chemosynthetic bacteria. The immune system represents the body's defense against pathogens and foreign invaders. Innate immunity provides immediate, nonspecific protection through physical barriers, phagocytic cells, and antimicrobial proteins. Adaptive immunity, unique to vertebrates, involves the production of highly specific antibodies and memory cells that confer long-lasting protection against previously encountered pathogens. The coordination between innate and adaptive responses ensures a robust and flexible defense system capable of recognizing and neutralizing a vast array of threats. Energy balance and metabolism are fundamental to all aspects of animal physiology. Animals must obtain sufficient energy from their environment to fuel growth, maintenance, reproduction, and activity. Metabolic rate, the rate at which energy is expended, varies widely among species and is influenced by factors such as body size, temperature, activity level, and ecological niche. Endothermic animals, such as birds and mammals, maintain a constant body temperature through high metabolic rates and insulation, while ectothermic animals like reptiles and amphibians rely on external heat sources and exhibit lower metabolic rates. Physiological processes are subject to regulation at multiple levels, from gene expression and enzyme activity within cells to systemic control by hormones and neural circuits. Feedback loops, both negative and positive, are integral to maintaining homeostasis and coordinating complex physiological functions. Negative feedback mechanisms act to restore equilibrium in response to deviations, such as the regulation of blood glucose by insulin and glucagon. Positive feedback, though less common, amplifies responses and drives processes to completion, as seen in the release of oxytocin during childbirth. Evolution has shaped the physiological traits of animals through natural selection, favoring those adaptations that enhance survival and reproductive success. Comparative physiology, which examines the similarities and differences in physiological processes across species, provides valuable insights into the evolutionary origins and functional significance of these adaptations. For instance, the evolution of endothermy in birds and mammals allowed for greater independence from environmental temperatures and the exploitation of diverse habitats. Animal physiology is intimately connected to behavior, as physiological states influence and are influenced by behavioral choices. Hunger, thirst, fear, and reproductive drive are all rooted in physiological processes that motivate animals to seek food, water, safety, and mates. Social behaviors, such as cooperation, aggression, and communication, often have physiological underpinnings mediated by hormones and neural circuits. The integration of physiology and behavior is evident in phenomena such as migration, hibernation, and mating rituals, which require precise coordination of internal and external cues. Modern advances in molecular biology, genetics, and biotechnology have revolutionized our understanding of animal physiology. Techniques such as gene editing, transcriptomics, and proteomics allow researchers to dissect the molecular basis of physiological processes and identify the genes and pathways involved in health and disease. These discoveries have profound implications for medicine, agriculture, and conservation, enabling the development of new treatments, improved animal breeds, and strategies for preserving endangered species. Despite the remarkable progress made in animal physiology, many mysteries remain. The complexity of physiological systems, their dynamic interactions, and the influence of environmental variability present ongoing challenges and opportunities for research. Understanding how animals cope with changing environments, emerging diseases, and human-induced stressors is increasingly important in the face of global climate change and biodiversity loss. In summary, animal physiology encompasses the study of how animals function at every level, from molecules to organ systems, and how these functions are integrated and regulated to sustain life. It reveals the extraordinary diversity of adaptations that enable animals to inhabit virtually every corner of the planet, while also highlighting the common principles that unite all living beings. By unraveling the mechanisms of animal physiology, we gain not only a deeper appreciation for the complexity and beauty of life, but also the knowledge needed to address the challenges facing animals and ecosystems in a rapidly changing world. As we delve deeper into the specifics of animal physiology, it becomes evident that each organ system contributes uniquely to the maintenance of homeostasis and the overall functioning of the organism. The integumentary system, for example, serves as the first line of defense against environmental hazards, pathogens, and dehydration. In terrestrial animals, the skin is often covered with protective structures such as scales, feathers, or fur, which help reduce water loss and provide insulation. Some amphibians possess highly permeable skin that facilitates gas exchange and water absorption, making them particularly sensitive to environmental pollutants and changes in humidity. The skeletal system, whether composed of bone, cartilage, or chitin, provides structural support, facilitates movement, and protects vital organs. Bones are dynamic tissues that undergo constant remodeling in response to mechanical stress and hormonal signals. In vertebrates, the axial skeleton supports the central axis of the body, while the appendicular skeleton enables limb movement and manipulation of the environment. Joints, ligaments, and tendons work in concert to allow a remarkable range of motion, from the delicate movements of a bird's wing to the powerful leaps of a frog. Muscle tissue is specialized for contraction and force generation. There are three main types of muscle: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscles are under voluntary control and are responsible for locomotion and posture. Cardiac muscle, found only in the heart, contracts rhythmically and involuntarily to pump blood throughout the body. Smooth muscle lines the walls of internal organs and blood vessels, regulating processes such as peristalsis and vasoconstriction. The sliding filament model explains muscle contraction at the molecular level, where the interaction of actin and myosin filaments, powered by ATP hydrolysis, leads to shortening of the muscle fiber. The nervous system is the master coordinator of physiological functions, integrating sensory information, processing it, and generating appropriate responses. It consists of the central nervous system, CNS, comprising the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS, which includes sensory and motor neurons. Neurons communicate via electrical impulses and chemical neurotransmitters across synapses. The CNS processes sensory input, stores memories, and controls higher cognitive functions, while the PNS transmits signals between the CNS and the rest of the body. Reflex arcs enable rapid, automatic responses to stimuli, providing protection from harm. Endocrine glands secrete hormones that travel through the bloodstream to target organs, influencing growth, metabolism, reproduction, and stress responses. Major endocrine glands include the pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, and gonads. Hormones such as insulin, adrenaline, thyroxine, and estrogen exert widespread effects by binding to specific receptors on target cells. The hypothalamus, located in the brain, serves as a critical link between the nervous and endocrine systems, regulating hormone release in response to neural and hormonal signals. The cardiovascular system is responsible for transporting blood, nutrients, gases, and wastes throughout the body. The heart acts as a pump, generating pressure to propel blood through a network of arteries, veins, and capillaries. Blood consists of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells contain hemoglobin, a protein that binds oxygen and facilitates its transport. White blood cells are key players in the immune response, defending against infections and foreign substances. Platelets are involved in blood clotting, preventing excessive blood loss following injury. Respiratory systems have evolved to meet the oxygen demands of different lifestyles and environments. Insects use a tracheal system, a network of tubes that delivers air directly to tissues, while vertebrates rely on lungs or gills. The mechanics of breathing involve the movement of air or water across respiratory surfaces, driven by muscular contractions and pressure changes. Gas exchange occurs by diffusion across thin, moist membranes, with oxygen entering the blood and carbon dioxide being expelled. Hemoglobin and other respiratory pigments increase the oxygen-carrying capacity of blood, enabling efficient transport to tissues. The digestive system breaks down food into absorbable nutrients and eliminates indigestible residues. Digestion begins in the mouth, where mechanical and enzymatic processes start the breakdown of food. The stomach secretes acid and enzymes to further digest proteins, while the small intestine is the primary site of nutrient absorption. Villi and microvilli increase the surface area for absorption, ensuring efficient uptake of amino acids, sugars, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals. The large intestine reabsorbs water and forms feces, which are expelled through the anus. Excretory systems maintain the chemical composition of body fluids by eliminating metabolic wastes and regulating water and electrolyte balance. Invertebrates exhibit a variety of excretory organs, such as nephridia and Malpighian tubules, while vertebrates possess kidneys composed of millions of filtering units called nephrons. Filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and excretion are the key processes involved in urine formation. Hormones such as antidiuretic hormone, ADH, and aldosterone regulate kidney function, adjusting water and salt reabsorption according to the body's needs. Reproductive systems display remarkable diversity across the animal kingdom, reflecting different strategies for ensuring the survival of offspring. Internal fertilization, common in terrestrial animals, protects gametes from desiccation and allows for greater parental investment. External fertilization, typical of aquatic species, often involves the release of large numbers of gametes into the environment. The development of amniotic eggs in reptiles, birds, and mammals enabled the colonization of terrestrial habitats by providing a protected environment for embryonic growth. In mammals, viviparity, giving birth to live young, allows for prolonged development within the mother's body and increased parental care. The immune system defends against pathogens through a combination of physical barriers, cellular responses, and the production of antibodies. Innate immunity offers immediate protection but lacks specificity, while adaptive immunity generates targeted responses against specific invaders and retains memory for faster responses upon re-exposure. Lymphoid organs, such as the thymus, spleen, and lymph nodes, are sites of immune cell maturation and activation. Vaccination exploits the principles of adaptive immunity to confer protection against infectious diseases. Thermoregulation is vital for maintaining optimal enzyme activity and physiological processes. Ectotherms rely on behavioral adaptations, such as basking or seeking shade, to regulate body temperature, while endotherms generate heat metabolically and use insulation, shivering, and evaporative cooling to maintain a stable internal temperature. Some animals enter states of torpor, hibernation, or estivation to survive periods of extreme temperatures or resource scarcity, reducing metabolic demands and conserving energy. Water and electrolyte balance is critical for cellular function. Osmoregulation involves the control of water and solute concentrations in body fluids to prevent dehydration or swelling of cells. Marine animals face the challenge of excess salt intake, while freshwater animals must prevent excessive water influx. Specialized structures, such as salt glands in seabirds and chloride cells in fish gills, enable the excretion of excess salts. The kidneys play a central role in osmoregulation, adjusting urine concentration according to hydration status. Behavioral physiology examines how physiological processes influence animal behavior and vice versa. Circadian rhythms, governed by internal biological clocks, synchronize physiological and behavioral activities with the day-night cycle. Migration, breeding, feeding, and sleep patterns are all regulated by circadian and seasonal rhythms, ensuring that animals optimize their activities according to environmental cues. Hormones such as melatonin and cortisol play key roles in mediating these rhythms. Sensory physiology investigates how animals perceive and interpret their environment. Photoreceptors in the eyes detect light and enable vision, while mechanoreceptors sense touch, vibration, and sound. Chemoreceptors allow animals to detect chemical signals, facilitating taste, smell, and pheromone communication. Electroreception and magnetoreception are specialized senses found in certain fish and migratory birds, enabling navigation and prey detection in challenging environments. Comparative physiology offers insights into the evolutionary adaptations that enable animals to exploit diverse habitats. For example, desert rodents exhibit highly efficient kidneys that produce concentrated urine, minimizing water loss in arid environments. High-altitude animals such as llamas and yaks possess hemoglobin with a higher affinity for oxygen, allowing them to thrive in low-oxygen conditions. Deep-sea creatures have evolved enzymes and membranes that function under high pressure and low temperature, demonstrating the remarkable plasticity of physiological systems. Developmental physiology explores the processes by which animals grow and mature, from embryogenesis to adulthood. Morphogen gradients, gene expression patterns, and cell signaling pathways guide the formation of tissues and organs during development. Metamorphosis, seen in insects and amphibians, involves dramatic physiological and morphological changes that enable the transition from larval to adult stages. Aging and senescence are also areas of active research, with studies focusing on the genetic and environmental factors that influence lifespan and health. Environmental physiology examines how animals respond to changes in their surroundings, including temperature, humidity, altitude, and pollution. Acclimatization involves reversible physiological adjustments that improve performance under new conditions, while adaptation refers to heritable changes that occur over generations. Climate change poses significant challenges to animal physiology, as rising temperatures, altered precipitation patterns, and habitat loss affect the availability of resources and the prevalence of diseases. Integrative physiology emphasizes the interconnectedness of organ systems and the importance of studying animals as whole organisms rather than isolated parts. Systems biology approaches use computational models to simulate the complex interactions among genes, proteins, cells, and organs, providing a holistic understanding of physiological processes. This integrative perspective is essential for addressing complex questions in health, disease, and environmental change. Biomedical applications of animal physiology are vast, ranging from the development of new drugs and medical devices to the improvement of animal welfare and productivity in agriculture. Animal models are indispensable for studying human diseases, testing therapies, and understanding basic biological mechanisms. Ethical considerations are paramount, and the principles of the 3 Rs, replacement, reduction, and refinement, guide the responsible use of animals in research. Conservation physiology applies physiological knowledge to the preservation of biodiversity and the management of threatened species. Physiological measurements can reveal the health, stress, and reproductive status of wild populations, informing conservation strategies and policy decisions. Understanding the physiological requirements of endangered species is crucial for designing effective captive breeding programs, habitat restoration, and translocation efforts. In conclusion, animal physiology is a dynamic and multifaceted discipline that bridges molecular, cellular, organismal, and ecological levels of organization. It provides essential insights into the mechanisms that sustain life, the adaptations that enable survival in diverse environments, and the challenges posed by a rapidly changing world. By integrating knowledge from genetics, biochemistry, anatomy, ecology, and behavior, animal physiology offers a comprehensive framework for understanding the complexity and resilience of life on Earth. As we continue to explore the frontiers of this field, we deepen our appreciation for the ingenuity of nature and our responsibility to preserve the rich tapestry of animal life for future generations.